times have I told you? I hate it when you do that.
And how many times have I told you? I hate the smell of tuna fish. Can't you switch to something else for lunch?
It's not like I planned getting this close to you. You don't like it? Stop dive-bombing me.
If only I could. Are you ready to settle down now?
Is Aunt Aggie done with her hugging?
She's done.
Wow.
Nipsy.
Okay, but if she pinches my cheeks one more time, I'm aiming higher than the kneecaps next time. You hear me? I don't have to take this kind of treatment lying down.
No, I do. Repeatedly. What is this? The 5th time this week?
Hey, you were the one who asked me to try to get into the spirit of the holiday. That wasn't my idea.
Don't remind me. Jenny wanted me to try to keep you busy, out of her hair. I thought maybe a project would keep your hands occupied, keep you out of trouble. Instead,
It kept my hands occupied.
unfortunate choice of words, if ever there were any.
Ah!
Never mind. Yeah, you were kept busy, all right. Not in the way any of us had anticipated, however.
What? My project was patriotic. Just right for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, in a way I guess it was. Only your little prank sent Uncle Roscoe to the hospital.
So what? It was only a small compound fracture. He'll be out in a few weeks. Besides, it wasn't a prank. It was a project. Can I help it if that old man can't take a joke?
I'm sure he'd like to take it and hit you over the head with it if he could. Of all the members of the family, too, it would have to be him. Never once in my life did I not know him to salute a police officer or lower his home flag to half-staff when ordered to by the president. It's not funny. He's patriotic. That's a good thing. The country could use more people like him. Why did you have to install a musical toilet seat in our bathroom? One that played the Star-Spangled Banner. You know he suffers from irritable bowel syndrome too.
My word, what goes on out here? Nipsy, are you alright?
Oh, him never better, unfortunately.
So I see. Maybe you'd like to help me feed little Wenda, since you're feeling so energetic, my young man. That kid is seriously one cool little dude. I'm glad you approve of him so much, since it appears he'll be staying with us for a little while. What's the matter, Lazar?
If Nipsy likes him, there's gotta be a catch.
Nonsense. Why can't Nipsy just like Wendell because he's a cute little baby?
That's why.
Alright, Nipsy. What's happened now? Well, Aunt Sophie arrived earlier, and she did her usual routine of giving all the grandkids big soggy smooches. It was horrible. They were even slimier than last time.
Oh, tell me about it.
Lazar,
Well, when the kid's got a point.
you're supposed to dissuade him from such talk, not encourage it.
The lady is a wet sponge, Jenny. I can't deny it.
And when she gets to Wendell, the little dude has just had his mashed peas, and he doesn't like them any more than I did at his age. Or anyone does, for that matter. So she gets over him with those soggy lips of hers.
Oh,
And when he spews on her with the force of Mount St. Helens, it was so epic! Oh my stars.
I missed that.
Lazar. It was awesome!
Darn, I'd have paid good money to see.
Lazar, if you don't stop.
I mean, yeah, Nipsey, that was a tragic circumstance, and poor Aunt Sophie was probably traumatized.
Lazar,
Ah,
sit
on it.
Seriously, you two will be the end of me. I'll feed Wendell myself. He's probably starving by now.
Just don't give him any mashed peas.
Unless Aunt Sophie is still here.
You know, Lazar, sometimes you aren't all bad. Only sometimes, though. Most of the time, you are still a real bummer to be around.
Thanks, kid. For a brother, you're a real brat, too. It being Thanksgiving and all, that's something we should at least try to remember.
Huh? What are you talking about now?
As much as we don't like the hugs and kisses from our family members, as much as we don't like spending all the time with each other that we have to spend, we do have to remember something, Nipsy, especially today, especially on Thanksgiving.
What's that, Lazar?
Well, look at us. You, me, our relatives, Ginny and Wendell too, all under one roof, together.
I don't follow you.
Look at it this way. There's Aunt Sophie and Aggie, even Uncle Roscoe. That's enough of that.
Sorry, I can't help it. Just the thought of him standing up and down like that.
Anyway, even though these aren't our favorite people, we do see them a lot. We know them. We're used to them. If we didn't see them when we're used to seeing them, life wouldn't be the same. As much as we don't like the kisses and the hugs, can you imagine not having the fun of trying to dodge Aunt Sophie when she comes over here? It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without the challenge, would it?
I never thought about it like that.
Then there's Ginny and Wendell in the Bear family. We aren't related to them, and we barely know little Wendell, but they are just as much family as if we were related to them by blood. We spend so much time with them. They are a part of our lives we couldn't live without.
Yeah, that's true enough.
We're incredibly blessed to have all of this, Nipsy. Very blessed.
Yeah, we are. But what's your point, Lazar?
It's just that sometimes, Nipsy, it's not just you either. I'm guilty of this as well. I think we both take things for granted. Not just things, but people. What we have, possessions, the things we have to eat, the comforts we have in life. You know, it's not like anything is guaranteed in life, or that we'll always have the people we have now. Our aunts, our uncles, even Mom and Dad won't always be with us. So we have to appreciate them while they are. Be thankful for them while they are with us, because they, far more than anything else on Thanksgiving, are the real blessings we should be thanking God for. The food on the dining table is nice, our homes, the good happenings in our lives. Yes, of course we should be thankful for, but it's the people in our lives who are the real blessings. What would anything else matter if the people weren't there to share them with?
You're right, Lazar. I never thought about what today would be like if it were just me. If I were alone, all by myself. It wouldn't be any fun, would it?
No, it wouldn't, Nipsy. No, it wouldn't.
But what got you thinking like this?
It's an old film about pilgrims Jingles and I have shown a few times. There's a line in it about sacrifice, about how much the pilgrims lost in coming here to settle the colonies, about all the people they lost at first in order to make the colonies stable. They lost a lot of people, but the towns eventually took hold. The first Thanksgiving happened, with few people, but it happened. Far fewer than they had ever thought, but it happened, Nipsy, with some guests they never anticipated too.
Really? Guests? Who?
Wanna see? It won't be as exciting as Uncle Roscoe in the bathroom.
That's alright. I can watch that on YouTube anytime I want anyway.
You didn't.
It's got over 1 million views already and it's trending worldwide.
Nipsy, I'm going to have a talk with Mom about your computer time. Honestly. Come on, let's go watch the pilgrims.
In England, in the early 1600s, there was a tiny band of people who called themselves separatists. They wished only to worship in their own way.
Open up in the name of the king! Open up, ye heretics! Master Brewster, be warned, as the King of England knows of your sins.
And we of his, I warrant.
Enough! You shall disperse to your homes. Ye shall meet no more, either secretly or in public, to worship in this heretical way. So, you object to your so-called priest wearing clerical garb. You object to kneeling when receiving the Holy Sacrament. You object to idolatrous gear and trappings. You object and object.
Captain, you well know that we desire above all to have the word of God freely preached.
That you shall not have, Master Brewster. Mark me well. The King of England is the supreme authority in matters of religion as well as matters of state. You shall conform to the King's religion. If you do not, he shall harry you out of the land.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
William?
Yes. Are you ready, Master Brewster?
Aye, we're ready.
Make haste. The King's guards will soon be on their round.
We'll leave this burning as though we were still here.
As though we did not have to leave our homes, to live as strangers in a strange land.
Nay, to live free in a free land.
Live? But how?
As we lived here, as tradespeople, artisans, farmers. As the Lord wills, so shall we live. Come, it is time.
And so began our pilgrimage. In the darkness of night, like thieves, some 200 of us took leave of our homeland and pursued freedom elsewhere, making our way to the only friendly land we knew, the low country behind the dikes, Holland. The Dutch were a goodly people and kind to us. Yet we were strangers among them, and our life was not easy. For 12 years we did all willingly. But in the end, it was the suffering of our dearest children which so moved our hearts. So oppressed were they by the heavy labors which our poor conditions laid upon them. And more than this, we had fear they were becoming as strangers unto us, their loving parents. What we might do, we did not know. But do something we must. For how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
It's quite possible, Master Brewster. It's quite possible. The New World may well be the place for your people.
And so 2 of our elders journeyed to London, there to consult with a certain Mr. Weston.
You understand, gentlemen, that our gracious king has granted our company a patent to settle the Virginia wilderness. But we are merchants. Our interest in this new world is to make a profit for our stockholders. Have your people any resources?
We are very poor in worldly goods, Master Weston.
Yes, I see. Well, suppose we did this. Suppose a group of merchants, including myself, subscribe a sum of money, say, 6,000 or 7,000 pounds, form a joint stock company between merchants and colonists to settle here, providing that each share in the company be of £10 value, the agreement to run...
Master Weston, if you would, a little slower, please.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, simply put, it comes to this. We finance your pilgrimage, you work for us, and we take the profit of your labor. Trade, fishing, farming, whatever you find there to apply yourselves to for 7 years.
7 years? Your terms are hard, Master Weston.
7 years? What are they, Master Brewster? Does not the Bible tell us that Jacob labored twice 7 years for the hand of Rachel?
We would, of course, have to discuss this with our people.
Oh, naturally, and I with mine. Mind you, I'm not at all sure we can do this. It's a risk. We shall be risking a great deal of money.
Very true, Master Weston. And we should be risking our lives. And the lives of our children.
Master Weston's conditions were hard, but at length an agreement was reached, and our people left Holland forever and embarked for Southampton, England.
There you are.
Thank you very much.
Brewster?
I am the Reverend Brewster.
Standish. Captain Miles Standish.
Master Bradford. Master Carver.
I'm at your service, gentlemen. Though I doubt what service I can be to you.
We have our doubts as to that too, Captain Standish.
As well you may. Tinkers, weavers, preachers, carpenters, going to a desolate wilderness. To a land of wild beasts and wilder savages. You know where you're leading yourselves?
We know only where the Lord is leading us, Captain Standish, and that is sufficient.
I know nothing of that. I know only that tinkers and weavers know little of wilderness or danger or starvation. Or of fighting. Can any of you fire a musket?
Can any of your kind fire a soul?
Will you? Captain Standish, you are a soldier. We, as you say, are tinkers, weavers, and preachers. You have been companion to wilderness and danger. We have not. We need your help.
I'm not of your faith.
There will be many strangers with us on this pilgrimage.
Strangers?
There are only 35 of us from Leiden, and to make up a sufficient number, we have had to recruit others from London.
Yes, but why strangers?
We call all men strangers who are not of our religion.
Your group has the patent from the Virginia Company?
We have.
And thus the authority to command?
Aye.
May not these strangers, as you call them, stir up trouble in this regard?
We must put our trust in God.
Master Brewster, I'll go with you, if you'll still have me.
August the 5th. Departed Southampton in company with the Speedwell, an ill-looking vessel at best. Speedwell leaking. Put back to Delfthaven for repairs. August the 17th. Set sail a second time. The Speedwell is unseaworthy. Put back to Plymouth. September the 6th, A.D. 1620. The Mayflower sails alone. They had no friends to welcome them, nor inns to entertain or refresh their weather-beaten bodies, no houses, or much less towns to repair to seek for succor. As for the season, it was winter, and they that know the winters of the country know them to be sharp and violent. Besides, what could they see but a hideous and desolate wilderness, full of wild beasts and wild men? And what multitudes there might be of them, they knew not. As for themselves, they numbered 102 souls, but only 35 true pilgrims, the rest strangers to their faith. And as Captain Standish had foreseen, this was to threaten the very purpose of the pilgrimage.
Enter.
Master Carver, these men have a grievance.
Yes, what is it?
Master Carver, when we came this voyage, we understood that your group had a patent from the Virginia Company to settle in Virginia.
So we have.
Then command us now, Master Carver.
What is your meaning, pray?
Our meaning is simply this. This ship was blown off course. That land out there is not Virginia, but New England.
And?
And so, your patent is worthless. You've no power to command.
We have the power to command this pilgrimage given us by God, and ye be strangers.
Command us, Master Carver.
What say you, Captain Standish?
I say this. Our landfall is some 200 miles north of the limit of your patent. Of that there can be no doubt. As for the other matter, these men are strangers to your religion, as am I. But I would remind you of this. In the land from which you fled, you yourselves were considered strangers. You were called heretics, disbelievers, and worse. Now we are lying off an unknown land, a wilderness. And unless we wish to leave our bones rotting on this shore before the winter is over, I say we'd better dwell together in unity.
We whose names are underwritten, the loyal subjects of our dread sovereign lord, King James I, having undertaken a voyage to plant a colony in the New World, do solemnly combine ourselves together into a civil body politic for our better ordering and preservation, and by virtue thereof to enact such just and equal laws as shall be thought most meet and convenient for the general good of the colony. Is this agreed by all present?
Aye.
What can I say of the painful labors of those first terrible months? To gain a foothold, however precarious, in that treacherous land. To find a site for our colony. To fashion simple, rude shelters. And how to describe that cruel first winter. When we were plunged into that wilderness, all unknowing and ignorant. Of savages, we saw few. And except for a first skirmish, in which our Captain Standish acquitted himself bravely, we suffered not from that source. But from another source, we suffered most grievously.
William, where are you?
Here at your side, my dear.
William, we should not have come. We should not have come.
Hush, my dear. Hush.
We should not have left England so many years ago. So many.
It was the Lord's will.
So many dead. Nearly half. It is the Lord's punishment. We should never have left England.
It is the fever. I fear so. And the others?
2 more dead, and 1 dying. My own wife.
Rose, your wife. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Does he hear Standish? Does he?
Must a stranger chide a true believer for lack of faith?
Do we bury our dead tonight?
Yes. It's a dark night, we'll not be seen. Come.
And during that first terrible winter, we buried more than half our number, leveling the graves to conceal our losses from the Indians, and in the spring, sowing them with grain. But the winter passed, and spring came, and life embraced us back. And we very few who were spared, found help from an unexpected quarter. Help from those very savages we had so feared, from Massasoit and the ever-faithful Squanto. From them we learned how to sow our crops, how to work long hours, where to fish for herring and alewives. We worked in common, men and women, pilgrim and stranger, white man and Indian. And at last the harvest time came, and with it our Thanksgiving.
For when we left our homes and our dear, dear friends in England, we embarked upon an uncertain pilgrimage. We thought to find a hostile country and hardships and heartbreak, and these we found. We thought to find no friends here to aid us, but in this we were wrong. We did find friends here. We did not think to lose half our number, but they lie now in this earth, in this newfound land. But stranger and true believer alike, they lie now as planted seed, a precious seed from which will grow this colony we call New Plymouth. For as one small candle may light 1,000, so the light here kindled shall shine unto many, yea, in some sort, to a whole nation.
must we hang them all upon the trees therein? When we remember thee, O Zion, we sat down and wept. Hi, Jack. Welcome to the Bear residence for Thanksgiving. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Lazar. My wife will be along as soon as she gets off duty at the hospital. They are swamped down there with emergency take-ins, but she'll be along as soon as she can get here.
That's all right, Jack. We've more than enough food here. Whenever she arrives, she'll be well fed, I can guarantee that.
Just what I like to hear. Her too. She'll have worked up quite the appetite by then, I'm sure. Oh, how's the little one you found doing? What's his name? Wendell, is it?
Oh, he's doing great. He was a little fussy at first, wouldn't take his food, but we eventually found some things that he'd eat, and now he's eating everything in sight.
No problems with keeping him down?
No, not really. Just nothing out of the ordinary.
That's good to hear. I was worried about the little guy. I felt a little guilty too.
Guilty? You? Why, Jack?
I was going over my recent police logs last night, specifically from the night before Wendell was found here by you, Lazar. I don't know how I forgot this, but that night was unusually busy. A lot of break-ins, unusual, but the night before was a holiday. A lot of people were out of town, so I was on patrol, and I logged this one particular event quickly, and it just slipped out of my mind.
What is it, Jack?
Well, the night before Halloween it was late. I was stationed down the street from this house for a while. I noticed a car drive by. A short time later, the car drove by again. It was the same car. A minute later, the car drove by again. At this point, I was getting suspicious. It looked like it was casing the neighborhood. The last time it drove by was a half hour later. It stopped on the street for a minute, then drives off again. I never saw it again.
When it was stopped, did you get a look at who was inside?
It was dark, but when another car drove by, for a brief second, its headlight flashed inside it. I thought it might be a woman driving.
A woman? Maybe Wendell's mother?
A possibility.
You didn't get the license plates to the car, did you?
Unfortunately, no. The car's owner hadn't done anything wrong yet, so I just let them go on their way. Now, I wish I had at least run the check or written it down, but other things were going on that night, and this was, unfortunately, pretty low priority. At least it seems so at the time. If I'd known what was going to happen later on with Wendell, I'd have done things differently, but as they say, hindsight is 20/20.
It's okay, Jack. You couldn't have known. Nobody could have. I think we'll find his mom, somehow. I have faith in that.
You've always had strong faith, Lazar. I envy you that.
Living with Nipsy, sometimes it's all I have, Jack.
Hey, Lazar!
Yes, Nipsy.